My greatest desire is to embody the qualities of humans well. Not all of them, of course, not the less desirable aspects like their overwhelming emotions that can cause them to cry and laugh simultaneously, or the peculiar curve of their pelvises that makes childbirth painful. And certainly not the fact that they could consume species like mine if they chose to how repulsive. However, I do admire their strength, creativity, and bravery. If I could become human, I might even overlook the negative traits. It seems a fair trade-off. Let me share the story of my first human acquaintance, who became one of my dearest friends. We reside on Folia, reputed to be the oldest planet inhabited by sentient beings in the universe, a point of pride frequently boasted by the Fians. Folia serves as a cultural melting pot due to the headquarters of the Interplanetary Sentient Council being located here. Originally from the planet Milana, my species has been allied with Folia for millennia. My parents, both clerks at the council, led lives that seemed quite monotonous to me, filled with routine jobs and dull friends. At the age of 16, my species' equivalent of human adolescence, I found myself disillusioned with school and life in general, living what felt like a dreary existence typical of a plant-based prey species. I was desperate for something exciting to happen. That's when Leon, a human, transferred to our school. His arrival was the talk of the town. There was even a special meeting held about it. The adults were terrified, but we kids were thrilled at the prospect of having a real human at our school. I was chosen to be Leon's buddy, which nearly horrified my parents. They only relaxed when I assured them I would be accompanied by a Folian guard until it was confirmed Leon posed no threat. You can never be too cautious with their kind. Our school was rather unique, an expensive, elite interspecies institution catering to the children of ambassadors and royalty. While we weren't of that stature, my family was well connected enough to mingle with influential figures. At least that's what I like to think. The school environment wasn't exactly my favorite. Most of the kids were rather snobby and cliquish, and I didn't find myself liking many of them. However, there was a silver lining. Principal Stochastic had a soft spot for me, considering me one of the few normal kids at his school. I'll always remember Leon's first day vividly. I got to school early, around 11 a.m., preparing for the day that was officially meant to start at 11:30. I later learned that this was considered extremely late for humans, but for us, beings reliant on photosynthesis, it was optimal just a few hours after sunrise when our energy levels were peaking. Leon arrived at 11:15, sweeping into the school grounds in his transporter. Principal Stochastic, the guard who we all jokingly called LOL, and I were there to greet him. The rest of the students were already in class, which was a good thing. Otherwise, there would have been an absolute spectacle right there on the front steps. He stepped out of the transporter alone, no parents, no escort, as if he had been attending our school all his life. I had only ever seen humans from afar or heard about them through my parents, who interacted with them at work. But seeing one up close was entirely different. His skin was smooth and fair, and when he smiled at me, showing his teeth, I couldn't hide my discomfort. Noticing my reaction, he quickly concealed his teeth behind his lips. "Hello, Leon," Principal Stochastic greeted him. "Hello, Sir," Leon replied, keeping his teeth hidden. "Nice to have you here," Stochastic continued. "This is your student buddy, Edulus. He will show you around and help you get to know how we do things here." "Thank you," said Leon, turning to face me fully. "Nice to meet you, Edulus." As I've mentioned, my species is plant-based, akin genetically to Terran bamboo, which means yes, I'm tall, skinny, pretty flexible, and I'd like to think quite tough. So I thought so when Leon looked at me. He looked up because I'm 9ft tall. Hey, that surprised you, didn't it? Straining to hide his teeth, Leon stared at me. I let him drink in my magnificence jokes, and then I said, "Well, you're flipping short and weird looking even for a human." Big mistake, he threw back his head and laughed like a drain pipe. He slapped his legs with his arms and bent over. Stochastic freaked out and ran inside the building. The Folian guard stood rooted to the spot, unsure about what to do. I just stared at Lon, specifically at his arms and legs, realizing that this was a species who could crush us all if he felt like it. See, the thing is, humans have muscles and hard, almost unbreakable bones. They have also a massive BMI. Compared to us, they are just plain heavy and strong and scary. They have terrifying sharp teeth. They eat plants and meat. They can think super fast and make decisions at light speed and fight things with whatever they have around them, or with nothing, just their bare hands. But I stood my ground. I forced myself to do the Mel Kanan version of a fake smile. I scrunched up my eyes and cheeks and waited until he calmed down. "Good one, man," he said, and slapped me on the back. I almost snapped in half, but I stayed upright. "Man, have you been here long, Leon?" "On Folia," I needed him to know. that he should tone it down or he would continue to freak us all out. Nope. Just got here 2 days ago, he said. It's the first real interplanetary school I've been at. Are you Malines? Yeah, close, I'm Mikan and cool. Leon nodded, looking around. He said, where's the principal? It was around this time that Stochastic reappeared holding a large book in front of him. OMG, he's using it like a shield. I thought, hilarious. Ah, come inside, boys, Stochastic said, his voice wavering. Class will start soon. And okay, said Leon, lead the way. Euless. We walked up the school steps and I pushed open one of the double doors. Leon attempted to push the other one, but instead, as he pushed it, it flew off its hinges and 6ft down the hallway. Crap. He said, I'm sorry, sir. Stochastic had run away again. The guard had left too. It was just me and Leon against the world. Please God, let the school be standing at the end of the day. I thought, cracking up internally. I bit the bullet. Okay, man, we need a serious talk here. Yeah, Leon said, it's a bit weird how he keeps leaving. Well, Leon, the thing is, you're scary. What? He said. Leon, you're human? I said simply. No kidding, he said sarcastically. Man, all of us here are prey species. A lot of us are petrified of you guys. You can snap us with your hands. You can run faster and jump higher. You can make weapons out of stuff. You can swim in water. You can, eat us. With that last comment, I hit a nerve. Lonk face fell, and he looked away. Yeah, well, me and my family were not like that. You need to get to know us. Give us a chance. His voice trailed off. I know, dude, that's why they have let you in here, but man, when you slapped my back out there, you nearly broke it. Leon looked shocked. I'm sorry, man. My parents told me we were stronger than most, and people might be afraid, but until I broke the door back there, I didn't get it. Yeah, it's okay. You will get there. And so, well, but you need to kind of tone it down a bit. I'll help you, dude. Thanks, he said. Cool, I said. Latoon, go to class. It's astrophysics first up, and we've got 5 minutes to get there. That first class went okay. Everyone stared, and some like FS Global. What a dick. Actually moved away from Leon. Leon knew the work, though. No doubt he was no slug. That's for sure. Apologies to any Phil Mikans reading this. Second class was leadership and diplomacy. Yeah, it's a real fancy school. Told you not so good. Lion stood up to read something out for the teacher, and as he walked forward, he knocked over a desk with his hip. The small, like 3 feet tall Capran sitting at the desk screamed and clattered backwards on her little hooves, which of course set the fawns off, and Epolis yelled, watch what you're doing, you clumsy Emil. Another dick move, Epolis. And what teenager talks like that, right? Leon apologized profusely and sat at his desk with his head in his hands. But the next class thing started. Looking up, it was physical training. We had to partner up. Of course, I had to go with Leon. I was his buddy, but no one else would anyway. We had a special uniform, depending on our species. But Leon's was way too small. He came out of the change rooms with a t-shirt, which was halfway up his abdomen, and shorts that showed most of his upper thighs. Everyone was horrified and transfixed. There was way too much human anatomy on show. Leon was really embarrassed, but he tried to make the best of it. I felt really sorry for him. Our PT teacher is a mellow cannon like me. She's 10ft tall and really strong. Well, we thought she was in our pairs. We had to take weights and transfer them as quickly as we could across the room. Leon picked up the whole bucket of weights in one go, so we won that one. Then we had to climb up a rope and traverse a rock wall. Leon got up and down the rope in 10 seconds. Then he climbed the rock wall like a spider, his body flat to the surface, constantly moving. We won that one. Next, he threw a medicine ball. So far, it bounced back off the gym wall and almost hit that same can again. When we did the reaction time test, Leon caught every single orb being fired out of the machine. He even jumped across 6 feet to catch one in the air and landed on the hard floor and banged his head, and he got up and acted like nothing happened. He did all this while hardly wearing a thing, his scary muscular human physique on display for the whole class to see. It was freaking awesome. At the end of the class, our teacher was standing in stunned silence, staring at Leon. How old are you, Leon? She asked. I'm 16, he said. When do human males reach maturity? About 25 maybe, Leon said. My teacher's mouth dropped open. You mean to say you're getting faster and stronger? Well, yeah, ma, I am, he said simply and shrugged his shoulders. I'm hungry now, guys. Isn't it lunch? We walked slowly to the cafeteria. After changing from PT, Leon had his normal clothes on and obviously felt far more comfortable. We sat in the school lunchroom, a group of kids from all over the universe, all lumped together in this crazy school. I got out my food, which is sugary fluids in the form of a shake, which is what we mostly eat. Leon got out his food, which was a steak sandwich hash at $%, and instantly every prey sentient in the room could smell the meat. It's hard to explain what that is like for a prey species. It's a horrifying, mesmerizing, sickening feeling that gets you in the middle of your gut or your xylem and floor. To him, in my case, some kids ran out of the room, some just moved quickly away. One kid dropped his food all over the floor, and several species just screamed, Epolis, actually peed himself. Hey, A paybacks, a B% dollar hash. At Leon sat perfectly still, the steak sandwich poised mid-bite meat, and bread flapping in the breeze. Dude, I almost yelled, "You can't eat that here." Leon actually drooled. QU. The sandwich was almost in his mouth, then he quickly wrapped it up and ran out of the room so fast he banged into the lunchroom door. And yeah, he broke that door too. I found him after about 10 minutes, sitting on the front doorstep of school. He had his comms device out and his cheeks were wet. He wiped his face with his hand and looked at me hard for a long time. Edulous, "I don't think this place is for me." He started out. "Leon," I said, "it's your first day in a new school. You're human, and no one else here is." When I started here, I was the only Myconan kid. A Folian guy pushed me, and because I'm so tall, I banged my head on the top of the door frame. "Yeah, but you're a prey species. We're different, you know." "I know, man, but it's really good that you're here. You have brains, you're freaking strong and fast. You're funny, though. Don't freak out." Stochastic, with all that knee slapping again. Leon managed to smile. His gross teeth glinted in the sun, but they didn't freak me out as much this time. "We just need to get used to you. You can't run from it, dude. No matter where you go in this universe, there's going to be all of us, and we can't run from you guys. Well, for a start, you would catch us, and then probably eat us." Leon threw back his head and laughed again, and this time I joined in for real.